Hey guys, it's Phoenix Tremayne. I'm doing my Real Housewives of Atlanta episode 12 Battle of the Booty review. You may have noticed last week there was no review for episode 11, and that's because I was very, very depressed. I'm trying not to be depressed as we speak. As I was uploading my review for episode 11 on YouTube, my hard drive crashed. And I had 6 months of my show Everyday Fitness, where I did a lot of traveling, a lot of filming, a lot of really great bodybuilders working with me. The Stalker Files, I went crazy with the special effects, all that hard work, all that time, just lost, possibly. I sent the hard drive off to Ohio today, and hopefully by next week they will repair it, and I'll be able to recover that data, and then I'll be able to breathe again. But I've already started filming new episodes of the Stalker Files, hoping that the 4 that I finished will be recovered, because it's heavy special effects. I mean, I jumped out of mirrors, evil twins, doppelgangers, smoke monsters. We did so much special effects. I did so much experimentation, so I was very depressed. So now, a week later, I am trying to get back into the groove, and so this is my review of the Real Housewives of Atlanta. You know I usually have a mask. Hey, this is the mask that I had last week review because of Kenya's Gone with the Wind Fabulous live song she dropped. What Happens Live? She sang it live. That foolishness deserved the clown mask. So that was the mask I used for this week. Now, last week's show, I wasn't really that impressed with it. It was okay. It was worth watching, but it was a yawn. Nothing major happened. This episode, the exact same thing. It's an okay episode. Not a whole lot happened, but it was worth watching if you're a fan of the show. Next week looks much better with Kenya pretending to be Phaedra and just being dramatic and over the top and really taking it to a whole new level. So I think next week will be the oh shit episode. But this episode, let's get to it. Okay, it pretty much starts off, now let's face it, this show cannot do anything without mentioning Kenya's being a part of something. It's like the Kenya show now. Bitch ain't even married. It's the Kenya show. So of course Cynthia is judging a hairstyling competition, and first thing she starts talking about is Kenya. I'm like, oh God! And then the bitch shows up. Kenya's like, oh, she's suddenly a judge at this hairstyling competition, too. Wow, yeah, that's not a coincidence. And then they get into it about the donkey booty versus the stallion booty. What's better? Would you rather have a donkey booty or would you rather have a stallion booty? Basically, you just want a round firm ass that's looks good. It's just a word. The same type of exercises that you're going to be doing, a lot of squats, is going to be in a stallion video. Same is going to be shit in the donkey booty video. So it's not a fucking big deal. It's just a play on words. You're not actually going to get an animal's ass. But this does lead me to what I talked about last week in my review that you'll never get to see because my hard drive crashed and I'm ready to fucking cry. But this shit has happened to me. When I looked at the episode last week, one of the things that I noticed was when they were starting talking about no contracts, I said, oh shit, I see where this shit is going. Because I've done it too. I've started work without a contract, and then when I whipped out my contract, the actors or sometimes people behind the scenes of production go, well, wait a minute. I'm not agreeing to these terms. In my contracts, I have a non-compete clause and a confidentiality agreement. So, if you are in my production, there is a non-compete clause and a confidentiality agreement. I'm saying that twice because Phaedra's a lawyer. And if they had a non-compete clause in that agreement, they would not be in that situation right now because it's obviously that Kenya is copying off of Phaedra out of spite because she's doing this video, which is pretty much the exact same thing with a name change. So, been there, done that, been in that situation. Damn. She should know better. She was a lawyer. I was new at this shit. But I'm not going to go there because that was what I talked about last week. But this episode, like I said, it was okay. You got Nene and Greg back into ATL with the baby. They're trying to cute baby, and they were trying to put a cradle together. Bitch, please. We know damn well either the store's going to do it or your assistant's going to do it. Yes. We may not see your assistant, but we know you have an assistant. And that's who's going to be putting this cradle together. It was just some bullshit filler for Real Housewives of Atlanta to have Nene doing something. Candy goes to Derek J's hair salon by coincidence because he was at the hair show. And he schools her on Kenya's Stallion Booty video. What the hell would they be talking about if Kenya wasn't on the season? But, so she immediately calls Phaedra to let her know, look, bitch, she's stabbing you in the back. She's trying to come up with the Stallion Booty video. And, so Phaedra goes off a little bit on her phone. I didn't know she was that low. Blah, blah, blah. Cynthia gives runway lessons to little kids. Phaedra and Apollo were dated. I know he's just a little kid, but he did not belong there. He did not want to be there. He might be a cute kid for commercials, but he's not a model because he doesn't want to walk on a runway. Even at the end of the show, his dad's got to carry him on the shoulder because they're just trying to get the kids some exposure. More power to them. That's what you're supposed to do when you're coming from a family that's on TV. You want to expose your kids to that. So in the future, if that's what they want to do, they already have some things under their belt. How Jodie Foster was that kid when the dog is pulling the diaper down. I forgot what company it is. But hell, yeah, you start early. Kenya and Candy debate whether or not Kenya is actually stealing Phaedra's idea. No shit. Really? Kenya's trying to, say, hey, I had this deal on the table. They didn't want it. They didn't want to give me my money. So I'm just going to do it myself. Bitch can do an ad video. Bitch can do a bicep video. Bitch, come on now. Just drama. So, Phaedra and Apollo secure their own deal from a major distributor, the one who was doing like Jane Fonda's videos and a bunch of other people. So, you know, Phaedra, she's an entertainment lawyer, so she knew what to do. She knows she could secure her own deal, and that's exactly what she did. And then on the break, we have Nene and Cynthia. They go and talk about dieting, and they're at a restaurant, and they start, Nene's talking about her weight, and she's got to watch her weight, and then they she chooses chocolate truffles, or popcorn, or something like that she wanted. Anyway, she wanted dessert. So, Nene, you're getting kind of big. You're getting kind of big. You need to tighten that shit up. So, and I've been noticing. Once you start noticing, the fans start noticing you're getting a little too big, you're dressed a little too tight, shit's popping out in the wrong way. You need to take care of business, get yourself a nutritionist, get yourself a personal trainer, do what you gotta do. Portia and Phaedra get together and they, talk about Kenya, and Portia's like, talking about Kenya's contacts, and they just having a good old time talking about how much they don't like Kenya. So it's just pretty much Kenya getting more screen time for actually being there. But they just rotate the girls, just like Kim and Nene. They're best friends, and then they rotate the shit around, and then Kim and Candy are best friends. They said the same thing with Sheree. Sheree musical chairs. She's Nene's friend, she's Kim's friend. She's switching all around. So they've just switched partners. Cynthia's fashion show, the kids are great. They do a really good job. Some of these kids need to be signed to a major modeling agency if they haven't already been, because they were walking that runway like adults. Big girls, big guys. So, kudos to the kids. Apollo and Kenya go at it, so I guess that's the end of their little story. You start fucking with somebody's money, they ain't trying to fuck you. So, Kenya, sorry, but I don't think you're going to get any Apollo dick, because you are trying to fuck with his money. Oh, and next week, Kenya goes off. She decides to act like Phaedra, and that should be hilarious. Just a little bit I saw, I was laughing my ass off. So, I'm not a Kenya fan, but maybe next week I will be. So, that's my Real Housewives of Atlanta review. Episode 12, Battle of the Booty. You can check out my links. You can join my webpage, www.myhotzonetv.com. Hopefully you'll get to see the Stalker Files and my exercise show and my soap opera Thirsty and all those other things I'm doing. You can do chatting, join with your friends. And you can do chatting, post pictures. It's the same shit you can do on Facebook. You can do on my website. It's a social networking website that I'm also putting on my different shows. So hopefully you will like it, enjoy it, and be a part of it. Subscribe to me. It only takes a second to subscribe to me here on YouTube. And I look forward to seeing you soon on the next review. And please, God, let my hard drive come back repaired, and that data is saved, and all that hard work I've done over the last 6 months has not been lost. So thanks again, guys, and thanks for watching.